July 2022, Jamaica was stunned by the disappearance of 24-year-old Donna Lee Donaldson. The truth behind her vanishing would expose a web of deceit involving her boyfriend, Constable Noel Maitland, a police officer sworn to protect citizens. This wasn't just another missing person case. It was a calculated act stemming from jealousy, betrayal, and a photo that changed everything. When an image featuring Donna Lee appeared online, it caught the attention of Maitland's other girlfriend, igniting a confrontation that would end in murder. Today, we uncover how a man tasked with upholding the law became the very danger he pledged to fight against. Donna Lee Donaldson wasn't just another face on social media. She was a magnetic personality who connected with thousands through her authentic content and creative vision. Her Instagram and YouTube channels showcased her genuine approach to life, fashion, and community engagement. With a growing following across Jamaica and beyond, Donna Lee had transformed her passion for creative expression into a promising career as an influencer. Her posts resonated with young Jamaicans who saw in her a relatable figure achieving success on her own terms. Her warm smile and engaging personality made followers feel like they knew her personally. Born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, Donna Lee blossomed from an artistic student at Kingston Technical High School into a respected creative force. Teachers remembered her exceptional talents in sewing and design, while classmates recalled her supportive nature and determination. At home, she was the pride of her close-knit family, especially her mother, Sophia Lugg, with whom she shared a deep bond. Neighbors described Donna Lee as ambitious yet humble, a young woman who never forgot her roots, even as her online presence grew. Her path from local talent to digital creator represented the possibilities of the modern Caribbean creative economy. I need to pause this story for a moment because what happens next reveals something crucial about relationships that could save lives. Have you ever noticed subtle controlling behaviors in someone's relationship? That moment when jealousy crosses from flattering to frightening. Share your experiences or observations in the comments below. Your insight might help someone recognize danger signs in their own relationship before it's too late. This case exposes how someone in a position of authority, a police officer meant to protect, can abuse that power in personal relationships. If you know someone who uses their professional position to control others, we need to talk about it openly. If this is your first time on this channel, I explore cases that expose deeper truths about society and justice. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next investigation. These stories matter because they teach us about institutional failures that put lives at risk. Give this video a like if you believe we need more accountability when those in power abuse their positions. Your engagement helps this important story reach more people who need to hear it. Now, let's return to Donna Lee's story and examine the relationship that would ultimately lead to her tragic end. Donna Lee and Noel Maitland's paths crossed in early 2021 at a music industry event in Kingston. Beyond his duties as a constable with the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Maitland maintained a parallel career as a music producer under the moniker Noel Boom. This dual identity, law enforcer by day, creative producer by night, initially captivated Donna Lee, who saw potential for collaborative content creation. Their relationship quickly blossomed in the public eye, with joint appearances at local events becoming regular occurrences. On social media, they projected the image of a power couple, merging law enforcement respectability with creative industry influence. Maitland showered Donna Lee with expensive gifts and public displays of affection, behaviors her friends initially interpreted as generous and loving. For the first few months, Donna Lee shared glowing posts about their relationship, describing Maitland as supportive of her career aspirations. Family members noted her increased happiness during this honeymoon phase, unaware of troubling patterns forming beneath the surface. By late 2021, friends noticed concerning shifts in Donna Lee's behavior. She began canceling plans last minute, citing Maitland's unexpected schedule changes requiring her presence. Her once vibrant social media activity became inconsistent, with unexplained gaps between posts. Text messages revealed Maitland's habit of questioning her whereabouts and demanding immediate responses. When working at events, he would call repeatedly, expecting her to answer regardless of professional circumstances. According to a close friend, he would examine her phone while she showered, monitoring her communications with male colleagues. Her fashion choices also changed. Outfits that had defined her bold personal style were gradually replaced with more conservative alternatives that Noel approved. When questioned about these changes, Donna Lee defended them as her evolving preferences, though her expression suggested otherwise. Most concerning was her gradual disconnection from supportive friends who expressed concerns about the relationship, a classic isolation tactic that left her increasingly dependent on Maitland. Unknown to Donna Lee initially, Maitland maintained a relationship with another woman, Cathania Smith, a female constable from the same police division. This wasn't a casual affair, but a long-term relationship that predated his connection with Donna Lee. Smith reportedly knew about Donna Lee but maintained silence, creating an imbalanced power dynamic where Maitland controlled both relationships while keeping the women separated. He compartmentalized his life meticulously, using his unpredictable police shifts as cover for time spent with either woman. When Donna Lee eventually discovered hints about Smith's existence, Maitland dismissed her concerns as paranoia and professional jealousy. This gaslighting left Donna Lee questioning her own perceptions and increasingly insecure. The proximity of both women to Maitland's professional circle created a precarious situation. Colleagues aware of both relationships remained silent, reinforcing an environment where his deception continued unchallenged. This silence extended protection to Maitland, while leaving both women in vulnerable positions. Maitland's position as a constable afforded him advantages that complicated the relationship's power dynamics. His intimate knowledge of police protocols meant he understood exactly what behaviors would trigger official intervention and which would fly below the threshold for action. When arguments escalated, Donna Lee faced the impossible choice of reporting abuse to her boyfriends, colleagues, and supervisors. His fellow officers, bound by an unwritten code of solidarity, might prioritize protecting one of their own over addressing domestic complaints. Additionally, Maitland's access to police resources gave him tracking capabilities beyond those of a typical abusive partner. He could potentially monitor her movements through official channels or request unofficial favors from colleagues. His uniform represented authority to the community, making public challenges to his character seem futile. This professional shield created a perception of untouchability that likely emboldened his controlling behaviors and ultimately influenced his actions when the relationship was threatened by exposure. On July 10, 2022, a seemingly ordinary photo appeared online that would set fatal events in motion. The image showed Donna Lee and Maitland at a weekend gathering, smiling together as a couple. Under normal circumstances, this would have been unremarkable, just another post among many. But when Cathania Smith scrolled through her feed that evening, this particular photo stopped her cold. Smith immediately recognized Donna Lee as the woman Maitland had repeatedly described as just a friend from the industry. The casual intimacy captured in the image contradicted everything he had told her about their relationship. While Smith had heard rumors about Maitland's involvement with an influencer, seeing photographic confirmation triggered her to act. According to witnesses, Smith messaged Donna Lee directly with screenshots of conversations, proving her ongoing relationship with Maitland. This digital exchange included intimate details only a genuine partner would know, shattering any doubt about the dual relationships Maitland was maintaining. Armed with this irrefutable evidence, Donna Lee confronted Maitland at his new Kingston apartment on July 11th. Neighbors reported hearing raised voices around 7:30 p.m. as Donna Lee demanded explanations for his deliberate deception, unaware that this confrontation would be her last known interaction with anyone outside that apartment. The timeline of those critical 72 hours reveals a carefully managed disappearance. July 11th, 7:30 p.m. Donna Lee arrives at Maitland's new Kingston apartment. Multiple neighbors confirm hearing an intense argument escalating over several hours. July 11th, 10:15 p.m. The apartment goes quiet. Security camera footage shows no one exiting through the main entrance. July 12th, 8:45 a.m. Maitland is seen leaving alone, dressed in full police uniform, departing for his scheduled shift. July 12, 2:30 p.m. Maitland returns briefly, leaving again with a large duffel bag. July 12, 7:20 p.m. A maintenance worker observes Maitland asking for help moving a couch to his vehicle, claiming it needed cleaning. July 13, 10:30 a.m. Maitland reports to work as usual, behaving normally according to colleagues. July 13, 15 p.m. Sophia Lugg, increasingly concerned after no contact, files a missing person report. The last confirmed communication from Donna Lee came on July 12 at 10:23 a.m., a brief phone call to her mother that would later become crucial evidence. Sophia Lugg described the conversation as oddly formal, lacking the warmth that typically characterized their exchanges. During this 2-minute call, Donna Lee asked her mother to feed her pet cat, explaining she was staying with Noel for another day. She mentioned having left her apartment keys with a neighbor. What struck Sophia as unusual was Donna Lee's hushed tone and the abrupt ending without their customary "love you" exchange. Phone records later revealed this call originated from Maitland's device, not Donna Lee's phone. This technical detail, combined with Sophia's intuition about her daughter's unusual manner of speaking, later led investigators to suspect Maitland had either coerced the conversation or was present during the call, monitoring what Donna Lee said. By the evening of July 13th, alarm bells were ringing throughout Donna Lee's circle. Her scheduled makeup client called after Donna Lee missed their appointment, something entirely out of character for the professionally responsible influencer. Simultaneously, unanswered messages accumulated on her social media accounts, with no new posts for over 48 hours. When contacted by concerned friends, Maitland claimed Donna Lee had left his apartment the previous morning after they resolved their disagreement. He suggested she might be taking space or staying with another friend. However, calls to her entire social circle confirmed no one had seen or heard from her. At 6:15 p.m., Sophia Lugg arrived at the Constant Spring police station to file a missing person report. The desk officer's response hinted at the first institutional failure in this case. Adults sometimes take off for a few days when they're upset. Give it more time. Despite this dismissive response, Sophia insisted on filing a formal report, emphasizing her daughter's reliability and the troubling circumstances. The report was finally processed but assigned standard priority. No immediate search was initiated, nor was Maitland formally questioned during the critical first 24 hours, a period forensic experts later identified as crucial for collecting volatile evidence that would soon disappear. The first 72 hours after Donna Lee's missing person report revealed troubling patterns in the official response. Despite standard protocol requiring immediate action for missing adults showing signs of potential danger, Detective Inspector Martin waited until July 15th to assign officers to the case. This 48-hour delay occurred without explanation. When investigators finally visited Maitland's apartment, they conducted only a cursory examination rather than the thorough forensic sweep procedure dictated for cases involving potential foul play. Officers spent just 20 minutes at the location before declaring nothing suspicious. Most concerning was the handling of electronic evidence. Donna Lee's phone records weren't requested until July 17th, and surveillance footage from Maitland's apartment building was collected only after repeated demands from the family. When technical analysis finally began, investigators discovered the building's camera system had experienced a malfunction during critical hours on July 11 to 12, a coincidence that raised immediate questions about potential evidence tampering. By July 16th, Donna Lee's disappearance had transformed from a family's concern into a national movement. Her social media followers, numbering over 45,000, began using #JusticeForDonnaLee and #FindDonnaLee hashtags that quickly gained traction. Local media outlets initially gave minimal coverage, but public pressure forced the story onto front pages and evening broadcasts. Influencers across Jamaica used their platforms to amplify concerns about the investigation's pace, with many directly questioning the Jamaica Constabulary Force's handling of a case involving one of their own. On July 18th, hundreds gathered outside the Constant Spring police station in a peaceful demonstration demanding answers. Protesters carried photos of Donna Lee alongside signs reading, "Police must police themselves," and "No badge above justice." This grassroots mobilization shifted the narrative from a routine missing person case to a referendum on police accountability. The public's refusal to accept official explanations created unprecedented pressure on investigators to demonstrate transparency. On July 19th, Deputy Commissioner Blake held a press conference announcing a significant development. The case was being reclassified from a missing person investigation to a suspected homicide. This shift came after forensic technicians discovered traces of blood in Maitland's apartment that initial responders had overlooked. The investigation was transferred to the Major Investigation Division, a specialized unit handling high-profile cases. Lead investigator Superintendent Campbell stated, "New evidence suggests Ms. Donaldson met with foul play. We are treating this as a top priority criminal investigation and pursuing multiple leads regarding her disappearance." This reclassification granted investigators expanded search powers and access to additional resources. Before we continue with what investigators discovered, I need your help solving a different mystery: why cases involving police officers as suspects often face delayed justice. Do you think it's institutional protection, fear of reporting, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters in this conversation about accountability. If you're finding this investigation revealing, please tap that like button. It helps more people discover this story and the important issues it raises about power dynamics in relationships. For those who haven't yet joined our community, now is the perfect moment to subscribe. We're committed to highlighting cases that expose systemic issues while honoring victims' stories with respect and accuracy. Now, let's examine the compelling forensic evidence that transformed this case from suspected foul play to a murder investigation. Evidence that might never have come to light without public pressure, forcing a more thorough examination. The forensic team's second examination of Maitland's apartment on July 20th revealed what the initial cursory search missed. Using luminol spray, which reveals blood traces even after cleaning attempts, technicians discovered an alarming pattern of blood residue. The most concentrated stains appeared on the living room floor behind where the now missing couch had stood. Additional traces were found on the bathroom floor tiles, shower drain, and kitchen sink trap. The distribution pattern suggested someone had cleaned blood from multiple surfaces. Most telling was a partial bloody handprint on the hallway wall, partially obscured by fresh paint. Neighbors confirmed Maitland had unexpectedly repainted this section on July 13th, claiming a water stain needed covering. Investigators also discovered blood droplets on a pair of designer sneakers hidden in the back of Maitland's closet. The distinctive spatter pattern indicated high-velocity impact rather than accidental contact, evidence consistent with blunt force trauma. The forensic lab prioritized processing the blood evidence, returning preliminary results within 24 hours. The blood matched Donna Lee's DNA profile, obtained from her hairbrush and toothbrush collected from her apartment. Beyond blood evidence, investigators found Donna Lee's DNA on a kitchen knife stored in the dishwasher. Though the blade appeared clean, trace blood remained in the handle's textured grip, evidence that survived multiple wash cycles. The bathroom drain trap contained hair fragments matching Donna Lee's, along with microscopic tissue samples. Forensic pathologists determined these samples were consistent with defensive wounds, suggesting Donna Lee had fought back against her attacker. Most damning was evidence recovered from Maitland's vehicle, a black SUV. Despite thorough cleaning, specialized testing revealed blood residue in the cargo area's fabric lining. The volume and distribution pattern indicated transportation of a body wrapped in the missing living room rug, pieces of which were found stuck in the vehicle's trunk latch. Building maintenance worker Jerome Davis provided crucial testimony about the couch disposal. On July 12th, Maitland offered him $5,000 Jamaican dollars to help move a damaged couch to his vehicle, claiming he needed to take it for professional cleaning after spilling wine. Davis noted dark stains on the couch's cushions and an unusual odor. More suspiciously, Maitland insisted on moving it during early afternoon when most residents were at work. Security cameras captured them loading the couch into Maitland's SUV at 2:47 p.m. Investigators tracked the couch to a remote dump site in St. Catherine Parish through Maitland's vehicle GPS history. Though partially burned, forensic teams recovered sections of fabric and padding containing substantial blood evidence matching Donna Lee's DNA. The couch's phone revealed blood saturation patterns indicating Donna Lee had been attacked while seated or lying on it, a finding consistent with the argument timeline established through neighbor testimonies. Multiple residents of Maitland's apartment complex provided consistent accounts of a heated argument on July 11th. Angela Morrison, living directly above, reported hearing a woman screaming about betrayal and lies, followed by thuds and crashes around 9:30 p.m. Then complete silence by 10:15 p.m. Building security guard Thomas Brown initially told investigators he saw Donna Lee leave around midnight. However, after questioning revealed inconsistencies, Brown admitted Maitland had offered him $20,000 Jamaican dollars to provide false testimony about seeing her departure. The apartment complex manager confirmed that Maitland requested security footage from July 11 to 12 be deleted due to a personal matter, claiming embarrassment about a domestic disagreement being recorded. When this request was denied, the system mysteriously malfunctioned hours later. Particularly revealing was testimony from delivery driver Marcus Wilson, who observed Maitland carrying a large, heavy duffel bag to his vehicle at 4:30 a.m. on July 12, an observation absent from Maitland's timeline during initial questioning. On July 27, 2022, at 6:30 a.m., a specialized tactical team from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch surrounded Maitland's mother's home in St. Andrew, where he had been staying since July 20th. The high-level team was specifically chosen to avoid potential interference from Maitland's direct colleagues. When confronted, Maitland appeared stunned but surrendered without resistance. Officers reported he repeatedly asked, "What evidence do you have?" During transport to the detention center, Deputy Commissioner Blake personally supervised the arrest, signaling the case's significance and addressing concerns about preferential treatment. Maitland was immediately placed on administrative leave from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. On July 29th, after 48 hours of interrogation, prosecutors formally charged Maitland with murder and defeating the course of justice. The charging document detailed how he did unlawfully kill Donna Lee Donaldson and subsequently engaged in actions designed to mislead investigators. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn took the unusual step of personally announcing the charges, emphasizing the evidence supports prosecution despite certain investigative challenges. The indictment highlighted the forensic evidence, witness testimony regarding evidence tampering, and documented attempts to create false alibis. Prosecutors denied bail, citing flight risk and potential witness intimidation based on his previous interaction with the security guard. Prosecuting Maitland without recovering Donna Lee's body presented substantial legal hurdles. Jamaica's judicial system had only successfully prosecuted 3 no-body murder cases in its history. Lead prosecutor Jackson emphasized their strategy would rely on overwhelming circumstantial evidence, including the blood evidence, digital footprint of Maitland's movements, and witness accounts of evidence destruction. The prosecution team consulted international experts specializing in no-body homicide cases, bringing in forensic specialists from the United Kingdom to strengthen their approach. The judge acknowledged these challenges during the preliminary hearing, but ruled the substantial DNA evidence and documented cover-up attempts met the threshold for trial. Maitland's arrest triggered immediate public reaction. Hundreds gathered outside the courthouse carrying photos of Donna Lee alongside #JusticeServed signs. Sophia Lugg addressed supporters, stating, "Today begins our long journey toward justice." The Police Federation issued a measured statement acknowledging the gravity of charges against a serving officer, while emphasizing the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Women's advocacy groups cited the case as evidence of needed reforms in handling domestic violence investigations involving police officers. The Prime Minister addressed the nation, promising full transparency regardless of who stands accused. Online, #police accountability trended nationally as discussions about systemic protections for officers accused of crimes intensified. Friends later revealed multiple incidents that foreshadowed danger in Donna Lee's relationship. In March 2022, she canceled a brand partnership photo shoot after Maitland objected to her male co-model. A month later, she appeared at a friend's birthday with sunglasses indoors, later admitting to covering a bruise from accidentally walking into a door. Her social media posting pattern changed dramatically, decreasing from daily updates to sporadic activity. Phone records revealed she changed her passwords 6 times in 2 months, suggesting privacy concerns. Most telling was her canceled weekend trip with friends in June 2022, after Maitland threatened to end the relationship if she went. Classic isolation tactics that went unchallenged. Maitland's position created multiple barriers to proper investigation. First, his colleagues initially handled the missing person report, with one officer noting off-record, "We all knew Noel," and gave him professional courtesy. Internal communications revealed the initial search warrant for his apartment faced unusual administrative delays. When forensic technicians finally entered, they were instructed to conduct a preliminary examination rather than the comprehensive processing standard for potential crime scenes. His access to departmental information systems allowed him to monitor the case file, potentially staying ahead of investigative developments. Fellow officers admitted hesitancy to pursue leads implicating a colleague, creating what the police commissioner later termed dangerous procedural exceptions. Donna Lee's case highlighted Jamaica's troubling statistics on intimate partner violence. The Women's Resource and Outreach Center reported that 1 in 4 Jamaican women experiences physical abuse in relationships, yet less than 30% report these incidents. The cultural normalization of jealousy as passion rather than control creates barriers to early intervention. Community forums following the case revealed widespread beliefs that relationship violence remains private business. Additional complications arise when abusers hold positions of authority. Support organizations documented a 40% decrease in reporting rates when alleged abusers work in law enforcement or judiciary roles, creating what advocates call a protection gap for victims involved with authority figures. The case exposed critical gaps in police protocols. No formal system existed for handling cases where officers became suspects, creating conflicting loyalties among investigators. The department lacked mandatory recusal procedures for cases involving colleagues. Training records revealed officers received just 4 hours of domestic violence response training annually, with no specialized curriculum for handling complaints against fellow officers. The delayed search for Donna Lee highlighted the absence of risk assessment tools for prioritizing missing person cases. No standardized criteria existed for elevating investigations based on victim vulnerability or suspect characteristics. Most critically, the department had no independent oversight mechanism for reviewing potential evidence manipulation by officers with technical access. Donna Lee's case transformed public understanding of relationship violence in Jamaica. Google searches for domestic violence help increased 340% in the month following her disappearance. Local support organizations reported unprecedented call volumes from women seeking advice about controlling partners. Media coverage shifted noticeably from treating domestic violence as isolated incidents to examining systemic patterns. Television programs began featuring experts discussing early warning signs of abusive relationships. Most significantly, the case sparked uncomfortable but necessary conversations about law enforcement accountability. Community forums emerged where citizens openly discussed experiences of having complaints dismissed when accused parties held positions of authority, breaking a long-standing silence around institutional protection. The Jamaica Constabulary Force implemented concrete changes following public pressure. In October 2022, they established the Independent Officer Investigation Unit, requiring external investigators from different parishes to handle cases involving police personnel. Parliament passed the Donna Lee Act in early 2023, mandating expedited processing of missing persons reports with specific risk factors, including recent relationship conflicts. Police Academy curriculum now includes 40 hours of specialized domestic violence training, 10 times the previous requirement. The Judiciary Council adopted new guidelines eliminating professional courtesy for officers accused of domestic crimes. Most practically, a public-facing dashboard now tracks investigation timelines for missing persons cases, creating transparency and accountability. Beyond headlines about her death, Donna Lee's life continues to inspire positive change. The Donna Lee Donaldson Foundation, established by her mother, provides emergency housing for individuals leaving dangerous relationships. In its first year, the foundation assisted over 200 women with safe transition plans. Her creative influence continues through the annual Donna Lee Design Scholarship, supporting young women pursuing careers in fashion and digital media. Recipients cite her journey from Kingston technical student to successful influencer as motivation for their own aspirations. Friends maintain her Instagram account as a memorial showcasing her authentic creativity rather than her tragic end. Her final collection of handmade accessories launched posthumously, with proceeds supporting domestic violence prevention programs. Kingston Technical High School dedicated its media lab in her honor, teaching students about responsible social media influence and relationship health alongside technical skills, ensuring future generations associate her name with creation rather than victimhood. Her story now features in educational curricula nationwide, transforming personal tragedy into protection for others. This case reveals how quickly controlling behavior can escalate to violence, sometimes with fatal consequences. You might know someone right now experiencing similar warning signs to what Donna Lee faced. If this video has helped you recognize concerning patterns in relationships around you, please share it specifically with someone who needs this information. Your single action could interrupt a dangerous situation before it escalates. For those who've experienced controlling relationships, your story matters. Share your experience in the comments if you feel comfortable. Your insight might help someone else recognize danger before it's too late. I've created a pinned comment with resources for domestic violence support services across different countries. Please add additional resources for your local area to help build our community safety net. Subscribe to join our commitment to examining cases that expose systemic issues while honoring victims as complete individuals, not just subjects of tragedy. Enable notifications to continue these important conversations. Remember Donna Lee Donaldson, not just for how her life ended, but for how her story might save others. Like this video to amplify her legacy and ensure these crucial lessons reach more people who need to hear them. Together, we can transform awareness into action.